in the 3rd grade, but I tested into the 5th grade, but my pop, he wouldn't let me move up because he didn't want me to make my brother Tony feel like a knucklehead. He says, Angela, sugar, you're a good kid. What you need to go making your brother Tony feel like a knucklehead? And then I says, hey, Pop, don't sweat it, you know. And he says, here, have a milkshake. And I says, thanks, Pop, because I really like milkshakes, you see. Okay, I'm done talking now. My brother's name is Tony, and he thinks he's a big man, but he ain't all that, you know. He's older than me, but he's not nearly as mature as I am. I am a young lady, you know. The name's Angela Delvecchio, and I'm probably the best at baseball, you know. For sure. Not that I think I'm all that, but you'll see, I am good. You know, I'm probably the best athlete here, but I don't like to brag or anything, because I don't want the other kids to feel bad and feel like knuckleheads or something. Some kids just have natural talents, and some kids just don't. I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm a natural, for sure. Okay, my name's Angela, and I'm 8 years old. I like sports and school because I'm good at them. When I grow up, I want to be an astronaut or a doctor or a lawyer or a teacher. Being a teacher would be way neat because then I could boss around kids and stuff, and maybe let the kids have recess early and go out and play with them. But then I could have summers off and not have to work all the time like my old man. He makes milkshakes, you know, which would be an okay job too because milkshakes are good. The name's Angela Delvecchio, and I'm probably the best at soccer, you know, for sure. Not that I'm bragging or anything, but I am good. I've got a natural athleticism that comes from my mother's side of the family. My brother Tony, he takes after my pop's side of the family, in more ways than one, if you know what I mean. My mother stays home all day and bakes cookies and cakes for my pop and brother. I don't eat that sugary stuff because I don't want to rot my teeth. I went to the dentist last week and she said I didn't have any cavities. Naturally, I have perfect teeth. I'm pretty smart, and I'm only in the 3rd grade. I think I'm about as smart as an 8th grader, you know, but I don't want to brag or nothing. It's not that I think I'm some hotsy-totsy Albert Einstein or nothing, but I shouldn't have to act dumb or nothing. Pretend that I'm dumb, like my brother Tony, who is, I swear, a complete knucklehead, you know? One time my family and me went over to Vinny's house. You know, Vinny the goat who does the color commentary for backyard baseball? I think his pop and my mom are second cousins or something, maybe 3rd cousins once removed or something like that. So we go over there and we're like eating this antipasto before the regular dinner. And of course me and Tony and Vinny's brothers are sitting at the kids' table, you know? And Vinny said something really funny, and I don't know what it was, but Tony was drinking some milk, and I swear he laughed so hard the milk came out of his nose. And he's like so proud of himself, like he's some kind of clown or something. What a pig. My aunt's husband's second cousin plays soccer over in Italy, a real professional and everything. I think he lives in Rome or something. They really like soccer over in Italy, you know? Italy last won the World Cup in 1982, but that was before my time. After the game, we should all go over to my pop's store. He can make us all milkshakes. I like milkshakes. I think everyone likes milkshakes for sure. My favorite is peanut butter and chocolate. It's not a regular flavor, you know. My pop makes it special just for me.
Hiya, sport. I'm Angela Delvecchio. You know, Tony's kid sister. Me and my brother Tony is 2nd generation Italian-American. Dad says America is the greatest country on the history of the globe. I got to agree with the man. I mean, where else you gonna get a game like this, eh? I tell you folks, it's tough growing up in a house full of boys. I mean, all day. It's yo Angie this and yo Angie that. I tell you, if I hear one more yo Angie, somebody's gonna get a face full of linguine. I do pretty good in school, but my brother Tony, oh boy, forget about it. Pop calls him Goomba. That's Italian for knucklehead. Pop runs a malt shop. He makes the best shakes in the world. I know, 'cause I'm the official taste tester. Pop just invented a new flavor last week. Peanut butter and pepperoni. Oh man, is that good stuff. They call me Sugar Pop, 'cause I'm always amped up to play, like I was on one of them sugar highs. My brother Tony is always like, hey Angie, calm yourself, but I can't help it. I love this game. Hey there folks, I'm Angela Delvecchio. You know, Tony's little sister. You know, I heard somewhere that girls used to have to wear skirts when they played basketball. Can you believe that? I mean, how are you supposed to dunk wearing a skirt? One time I was playing basketball in our driveway and I hit a shot all the way down by the tree stump. Oh yeah, you haven't been to my house, have you? That's a 3-pointer on our court. Yeah, I got into basketball when I was a really little kid. My grandma would always watch the games because she had a crush on Vinny. Me and my big brother Tony play basketball in our driveway a lot. He's bigger and stronger than me, but I'm quicker off the dribble than him. I can totally, burn by him sometimes. You know, my brother Tony thinks he's so tough. But one time, my mom made him get his hair cut, and he ran in his room and cried for 3 hours. Don't tell him I told you, okay?
Hey there, short stuff. I'm Angela Delvecchio. I'm Tony's little sister. So Vinny the Gooch comes up to me and says, "Yo, Angie, who's the better athlete, you or your brother Tony?" So I says to him, "First of all, I've been better than Tony since I was 3 years old. And secondly, if you ever call me Angie again, I'll feed that microphone of yours to you on a knuckle sandwich." My big brother Tony thinks he's real tough. But last week, I beat him in arm wrestling, and he cried for 2 hours. But don't tell him I told you, all right? You know, I'm really the best player here, but I just pretend to goof up all the time, just to make the other kids feel better about themselves, you know? My name's Angela. That means like angel or something in Italian. At least that's what my grandma says. He's always saying, "Hey, Angela, you know your name means angel, so why don't you start acting like one and stop beating on your brother Tony?"
Hey there, my name's Angela, and I've been playing football since way back. I got a good arm on me from pitching, and I'm tough from fighting with my creepy brother Tony all the time. So you can put me in most any position out there, okay? Maybe you noticed or something, but me and my brother Tony don't get along except when our dad is watching. Dad says we should always stick together because we're brother and sister. But Tony is going through his goon phase, so maybe after he grows up, we'll hang out and stuff. Yeah, I know all about football. I'm pretty smart, so I learned all the rules pretty quick, you know? Now it's all about technique, and I've got my own style, so watch out! There's no professional football for women, but when I go out there to play, you'll see it doesn't take a big ugly bruiser to get the job done. I can bust up some heads when it gets down to it, that's for sure. Just look at my brother Tony's head. Yo, I'm Angela Delvecchio. My big brother Tony thinks he's real tough, but one time we were watching this movie and at the end, they had to shoot their dog because it had rabies, and Tony totally cried. Oh man, don't tell him I told you, okay? You know, my Aunt Gina makes these cookies that look just like Happy Puffs. They taste like them too. Hey kiddo, you gotta have me on your team. You just gotta pick me. You know, excellent basketball runs in my family. My great aunt Paula was one of the first women to dunk a basketball. Of course, she was 7'2", and she had a beard. Yo, Angela here, but don't let the name fool ya. I'm an angel of destruction on the ice. Nobody messes with my team or I cream 'em, see? You know my brother Tony? What a pop schmuck. I could take it away from that clown every time, you know? I love hockey because it's fast and physical, and it gives me a chance to lay my brother Tony out flat. What a goon that guy is! You know my brother Tony? What a pop schmuck! I could take it away from that clown every time, you know? Yo, Angela here, but don't let the name fool ya. I'm an angel of destruction on the field. Nobody messes with my team or I cream 'em, see? You know my brother Tony? What a schmuck! I could run circles around that clown every time, you know? I love football because it's fast and physical, and it gives me a chance to lay my brother Tony out flat. What a goon that guy is! I've been playing football since way back. I got a good arm on me from pitching, and I'm tough from fighting with my creepy brother Tony all the time. So I can play in most any position out there. When you've lived in the big city like me, you get to learn a lot about culture, see? There's art museums, and there's the opera and the symphony, but best of all, there's baseball and basketball and football, and I've seen them all, you know? Maybe you noticed or something? But me and my brother Tony don't get along except when our dad is watching. Dad says we should always stick together because we're brother and sister. But Tony is going through his goon phase. So maybe after he grows up, we'll hang out and stuff. Yeah, I know all about football. I'm pretty smart, so I learned all the rules pretty quick, you know? Now it's all about technique, and I've got my own style, so watch out. You know what? There's no professional football for women. But when I go out there to play, you'll see it doesn't take a big, ugly bruiser to get the job done. I can bust up some heads when it gets down to it, that's for sure. Just look at my brother Tony.